In this video, we're going to see how we can use Lightroom to treat images in a fast way, especially images that are taken from the same event, most probably with the same camera settings, the same light exposure. There's a better way to treat images like this one. As you can see, there are many photos here. We will see how we can use Lightroom to pick the best one, treat it in a fast way, and export it in a fast way. So let me start by going to the source of the images. And on the screen you can see here the shared Google Drive. This is the folder name of the photos that we're going to work with today, and these are the images. So what we can do first is to download this by clicking this drop down arrow, then scroll down, click download, and then wait until this downloading is done. Okay, while we're waiting for this downloading to finish, we can open our Lightroom. And then as you can see here, this is the catalog that I worked with from last time. Now, should we make a new catalog for this activity that we're going to do? So in this case, the images that we're going to work with are from sports. So I think this is a different category. So in that case, I will make a new catalog for our activity for today. So I'm going to name it this way. Everything about sports I will use with this catalog. So I'm going to skip this time. Lightroom will relaunch. So downloading is done. We can check it in our download drives. Downloads is over here. So what will I do now is copy this and put it in the folder. As you can see, it's a zip file. So we need to extract this first. Alright, once it's done, I'm going to cut this out over here. This is the folder that we need. I can now delete this. Alright, so the location of the file is in F, this folder, and this last folder. It's important that you need to know the location of the images because you need that when you import the photos in Lightroom. So once the images are ready and Lightroom is ready, we have a new catalog for our images. We can now go to library and then import, then go to the folder where we save our files. It's in F, this folder, and then this folder, and this subfolder here. Then select it, click it, make sure everything is unchecked, and then click import. Alright, so you can go to develop. As you can see here, there are plenty of images. Some are not good for keeping, some are good. So what you need to do now is find good photos and then treat it. So in this case, I think this one is good. So I'm going to treat this first. Okay, so what will I do first is work with the cropping. So I will use the crop tool. I want to make sure that the focus of the image is in the rule of thirds. These are the lines for the rule of thirds. So this is where the action is. So I want this area to be in the rule of thirds. So what will I do now is I will crop down somewhere here. Alright, I think this is good. So you see this player here is in this line, and another player is on this line. So I think that's good enough. So I'll click done. And then I will work with the histogram. For the middle exposure, I will drag it to the right to make it brighter. And then I can go to the contrast, make the dark parts darker. Alright, I will leave it there like that for a while. And then I want to work now with the white balance. Now white balance means that the white area remain as much as possible white, not bluish, not greenish, yellowish, or reddish. So as you can see in the image, it's overcast with green or yellow. So let's work with the yellow first. Now if you want to remove yellow outcast or yellow shades in the image, you need the blue color for that. So in that case, it's in the temp. You slide it to the right, to the left, maybe somewhere in -10. And now you can still see the green. So for the green to balance it, you need the red color for that. So in that case, that's the tint. You slide it towards the right. Alright, I think this one is good now for me. I can use the before and after. So I think I like the treatment for this one. And then I can work with the highlights. The highlights are these white lights there. So if that is too much, you can decrease. Okay, maybe this one is good. And then as you can see, the dark parts are a bit dark. So I can use shadows to show some details on the dark part of the image. And then decrease some blacks. Okay. And then also, I will work with the texture to add more sharpening to the image and a little bit of clarity. You can zoom in, zoom out to see the difference. And then after that, I will scroll down and then work with the details, sharpening. Normally, I put this somewhere close to the middle, and then I will add luminance a little bit too. I think I am satisfied with the treatment of this image here. Okay, so the next thing we can do here is before we find another picture to work with, uh, we need to flag this first with a rating. You can do any numbers here. I usually use 3. Those images with ratings of 3, for me it means those are the good photos and I already treated it. And also before you go to the next photo, click copy over here. These are the settings that you did a while ago. So normally I just leave it like that and I will copy. So that means all these settings here that you did is copied in the buffer, in the memory. And then we will paste it later on to the next image that we think is good enough for keeping. So after copying, find another good image here. Okay, I think I like this one. So I will select that and then click paste. As you can see, you don't need to go and start over with all the treatment. You just copy the setting that you need from the previous image. Then if you need to do adjustments with this image here, then you can just go to that specific slider. Maybe I will work with the exposure, decrease it a little bit, and then also with the uh, rule of thirds. Okay, so once again, before you go to the next good image, set the rating here. These are the photos that I treated. One here and another one here, another one there. So if you can see these icons in the thumbnail, it means you modify the sliders, the properties of this image. But as you can see, I forgot to do the ratings. So if that is the case, what you can do is you can select all those treated images. You can use the control key to do that. So I will select the first image without the rating, and then I will press my control key on the keyboard while clicking those images that I treated a while ago. So press control key, select. Alright, so for those selections, there's another one. Alright, for those selections, you do right click and then do the ratings. Oops, okay, I want to change it to 3. So what we can do now is to go to filters and then do filter rated. So what it means is that you will be able to see here only those images that you do with the ratings, meaning to say the good ones and the ones that we already put some treatment. So what we can do now is we can export this. So I'm going to select the first image. I will do Control A, right click in the selection, and then export. So in this activity, I want the exported image to be in the same folder as the original files, but I want it to be with the prefix, the word treated. It's important to also include the date and the event, and also I want to rename it with my name and the word treated, and with some sequential numbers starting with 1. And also quality, I want it to be 100%. And since we want to print the photos to a hard copy, to a paper, the resolution should be 300 pixels per inch. Then you can sharpen it for the paper. No need to put watermark. Alright, and once again, review. Make sure you did everything correctly. And now you can do exporting. Okay, so we're done with the exporting of these good ones. So we can go to the folder and check if it's in there. So this is the original folder, and we have a subfolder here with the prefix, the word treated. So I'll go double click, and as you can see, these are now the file names, the custom name that we put there with the sequential numbers. Now what we will do next is put this treated folder in the Google Drive. So here's the Google Drive once again. Then here's the treated ones. I'm going to make this smaller. I'll just drag it in here so it will be saved in our shared drive. So we'll just wait until this is done. Okay, so once the uploading is complete, actually I want it to be, it should be moved to this folder here and not inside the row anymore. So I'll click move. Go here. This is the file, the folder that we need to keep, and this is the original one where we can now delete because we already picked the best ones and we already treated it. Now going back to Lightroom, we can do the same. These are the good ones. Then we can go back to the unrated ones, and then probably you might want to check again if there are still good photos there. If none, and you are sure that these photos can now be deleted, you can do Ctrl A, select everything for the unrated photos, and then right click, remove photos. Now over here you have 3 options. It tells you how many files you will about to delete. Cancel means you don't want to delete it. Now remove means the photos will be deleted in Lightroom in the catalog, but will still be in the original folder. Now delete from disk, it means the photos will be deleted in Lightroom in its catalog and also in the local drive. So if you are really sure that you want to remove this, then you click delete from disk. Okay, before I end this video, let me talk about the sync functionality of Lightroom. You can see the sync button over here. Let me go back to the rated ones. Alright, so if you can see the sync button is not there. In order for it to show up, you need to select many photos, and then the sync button is over there. Now here's how the sync works. For example, I will reset this image here. Now as you can see, it's now without the treatment that we did, and I will select from here, press the shift key on my keyboard, select the end. So as you notice, the first image in the selection has no treatment, but the rest have treatments. Then when I do the sync, what it means is that I want to copy the setting of the first image, and I will paste it to the rest of the images there in the selection. So when I click synchronize, that's what exactly will happen. Now the treatment for these photos are gone. So let's do that again. I will now include this. The first image has treatment. I will do Ctrl A, right? And then sync. So the first image has treatment. If I will click synchronize, whatever the settings here for the first image will be pasted to the rest of the selected images.